Hello everyone and welcome to Diane Actually Writes. Let's put the music back on here. Let me know if it's a little loud. Good to see everyone. How are you? Let's see here. Let's go through the roll. Of course, James first in the chat as usual. Hello Misa. Oh, and thank you Bell Dandy and Kahuna the Elder for the raids. Much appreciated, guys. We'll do a couple shout outs here. Bell Dandy is pretty awesome. They've been a part of the community, the Game of Tomes community before, and they're a really neat person and a cool writer. You should definitely check them out. And of course, most of you already know Kahuna, so this is probably redundant, but I'm gonna do it anyway because, you know, people deserve to be shouted out. Kahuna is part of the World Builders Forge, which I am also part of, and it's kind of a really neat, everybody combines their efforts to create things, and it's really cool. I just realized I have like a red mark on my face here. Allergy to something. Alright, and Maya has already taken off, so have a good day. Maya Writes. Maya Writes is cool too. I shouted her out earlier. Hello Games, good to see you. Games is also part of the World Builders Forge, so that's really awesome. And Eli is here. Eli is awesome. And Daz is here. And Daz is awesome. Who all are we missing here? People were very chatty. That's cool. I'm sorry to hear that you're not in a good mood, Lisa. It sucks. Things are like, sounds like you're under the weather a bit, and that's no fun. Right? Daz is over prepping for a game on Sunday. Awesome. Right? James has had his second shooting and will be drawing hopefully today. Excellent. Daz is doing great. Belle Dandy just finished her day 26 short story. Awesome. I'm so behind. I think I'm first, you know. But that's all right. Let's see what else we got here. Sounds like people in a good mood. Now I see your showcase kit, and today isn't a showcase day, but you don't always make it to my streams, so I may just do it just for the hell of it. I'll put it up for the time being anyway, right? And yeah, it's usually Sundays and Wednesdays, right? But honestly, I'm very distracted today, so if I need a break, that's what I will do. How about that? Oh, hello BC Brown, you are here. And it's always good to see you, by the way, kid. And Bob is here. Bob is also part of the World Builders Forge. Awesome. All right. So I said I was in a good mood today. And the reason why I'm in a good mood today is that I finally got off my ass. And I officially applied for my official SIFWA membership, and it was approved within a day. So I just got that email right before we started the stream, so I'm kind of excited to find out what kind of features are available to me as a SIFWA author now. For those who don't know, that stands for the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America. It is a professional organization for science fiction and fantasy writers, kind of like a trade guild. And there's an annual membership fee, but you can only apply if you've, made a certain number of professional sales, which I now have. So I can apply, so that was really cool. And that gives me access to all kinds of things, like I get access to their legal defense should I ever need it, or copyright lawyers. Currently they're going after Disney for back pay owed to Alan Dean Foster. So, this is the kind of resources. I mean, it's a bit of a big chunk for them to chew on, right? Taking on Disney should intimidate anybody, but they're doing it, right? That's the kind of resources they have. They actually can. So, bonus, should I ever need that? I doubt it, but you never know. And, there's access to their magazine. They've got a special new releases thing, and hey, hell, it looks good on a resume, right? When you can say, yeah, I'm actually like a real science fiction writer that people have paid. Well, okay, everybody's a real writer, but you know, when you can say when you're submitting to magazines that, you know, I've made enough professional sales already that I'm part of this group, some of them take you more seriously. So it's cool. Awesome, Kit. That's cool. Thanks for that. Kit says, my work schedule doesn't let me come in every day, and good to see you. Can't wait to get your book. Yeah, I know it's your work schedule, which is why I'll probably do it, because, you know, you're part of the community, and you don't get that chance very often. Thanks for all the congrats in the chat, by the way. Oh, and hi, Gwen. Good to see you. Yep, it's cool that you're here. BC Brown says, can't wait till I meet all of the qualifications. I wanted to apply forever. Okay, so here's what I did, right? The first thing I did is they'll ask you if it's not an officially recognized SIFWA qualifying market, which is, you know, the big name stuff, right? Stuff like Analog and Uncanny, right? If it's not that stuff, then they'll ask you to provide proof of income in that you got paid professional rate, whatever they said professional rate was at the time. So make sure to save records of your payments and don't throw away your contracts, because that's the kind of thing they'll want you to upload when you go to apply. And I knew I wanted to apply ages ago too, so I saved everything. I sent them my contracts, which were all in one directory. I've been saving them for a couple years now, right? And I took a picture of the first check that I got from the first professional market that I sold to. After that, it was all PayPal payments, so I took a screenshot of the PayPal payments, and yeah, it was enough. So, you know, it was approved within a day, actually. They say, wait, it can take up to 30, but I applied yesterday, so yay! So that's awesome. So that means I'll have their resources for my book release. That other way, this way, yeah. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, so let's put up the sprint timer, and you know what? Oh, yeah, okay, Chrome, I gotta capture again. I wasn't gonna capture Chrome. I thought I might do, well, I can shut it off later and put up secret book stuff if I want. I'm very tempted to go and look at my email more, but we will do we will do Kit's showcase. And that's how we'll get started today. What are you guys working on? I don't really know what I'm working on. I think I'm going to try to catch up with some 31 Days stuff. Oh, hello, Right Idea. I've officially been accepted for, like, my official SIFWA membership is the good news that I was very excited about. So, yes. All right, and I got that email right before I started today. So let's look at this, and I'm going to need my glasses. Well, I don't really need them for this, but it helps. BC Brown says, I'm working on a website graphic. Website graphic redesigns, just updating and modernizing a bit. That's cool. All C games. Reminder that I said at the beginning of the stream, I don't normally do showcases today. It's just that I know Kit doesn't make it here all the time. His work schedule is kind of screwed, so I thought maybe I would, you know, cut him a break. So we'll see. Probably I'll check it out. If it's small, that's fine. He says, very small, but love your thoughts. Never written sci-fi fantasy before. Oh, okay, cool. I'll check it out. Or add it to the backlog. Okay, will you be here on Sunday? Because I do showcases on Sunday, and I'll just start with yours then, if that's if we don't get to it today. Yeah, SIFWA, you gotta prove your that you've made enough professional sales to qualify as a professional writer, so it's kind of a big deal, and I'm very excited about it. I've been volunteering on and off for them for a few years. I was the manager of the SIFWA YouTube channel. I'm going to apply to do that again because they ask you if you want to volunteer, and I thought I was doing some good work there, but then the board changed hands and access to the account kind of got messed up, but maybe now that I'm officially a member, they will let me go back to doing that, and I really enjoyed that. I did a couple of programs on there that were talk shows. One was called The Panel, right? And the other one was, oh, I forget what it's called, but it was specifically about women in science fiction and fantasy, although I'll probably expand it to, you know, marginalized genders in general, right? And we did stuff like talked about the nature of what science fiction and fantasy are. We talked about, you know, queer characters. We talked about, you know, space opera as a genre, you know, stuff like that. Right, and this is people who are, you know, other SIFWA members, so they're recognized writers in the field. I had Mercedes Lackey on, I had John Scalzi on, I had Kat Rambo on, you know, Nebula award-winning authors. It was really cool, right? So yeah, and I'm looking forward to trying to do that again. So let's go to Kit's Showcase. From his Wizard's Peak world, which I really love, Tale of the Bakunawa Breakers. Did I get that right? Bakunawa Breakers. The tale, or the death of Baron Nicholas Silversong and his crew was shrouded in mystery. His skyship, the HCS Blackjack, I like the name. Okay, I did. I got it right. Cool. Appeared abandoned on the shores of Rivers Deep near the border of the, you need the in front when you're talking about Commonwealths. What's Rivers Deep? Temperate Inland Sea. Okay. Near the border of the Commonwealth of Corgi and Ta-Arma. Oh, that's the HCS. Oh, nice ship. That was cool. Your world is so thorough. I wish I was this thorough. My world's a mess by comparison. Okay. Near the border of the Commonwealth of Corgi and Ta-Arma, amidst a riot of 7 moon snapdragons. Common plant. Silvery flowers, dragon heads, little seldom mist, renowned for its beauty. Heads open in the evening. Okay. Moths and bats visit them. Cool. I like night blooming flowers. I think they're amazing. Okay. Rumors have begun to leak out that the Baron and his crew entered the singularity of the Bakunawa's grave. Okay. They sought the corpse of the fallen Braza in an effort to prevent the reemergence of a dark god. Did they descend into the belly of the beast to release the mythological 6 moons of legend? Okay. Neat. No one believed the stories. The rumors were easy to disprove. Except, the snapdragons did bloom in 7 colors. A hidden moon has risen into the sky. A song worms its way into the ears of those who know how to listen. This is the wrong it. In English, IT apostrophe S is a contraction for it is. When you're using the possessive it's, therefore, you have to drop the apostrophe. And I realize that some grammar programs will not tell you that these days, but that is the way it is. Alright. The Silver Song of 6 Moons in 1. The captain laments the Baron's schemes. Is there a tune for this? This is cool. Come on now. Through the event horizon of myth and reality. Oh, nice. 6 moons in the belly of the Bakunawa. The return of the Blackjack. Okay. Cool. Let's see what I missed here because I asked a question. And then that way, you know, I should look for an answer. Eli's going grocery shopping in a bit. But sleepy, but needs more caffeine. Yeah. Fair enough. Gwen says, just finishing breakfast. We'll do some yard stuff for an hour or 2 when it's digested while I plan out in my head the story for today's prompt. Cool. Okay, Red Idea says, I now have another goal to add to my long-term goals. I want to dip into sci-fi quite a bit later down the line. Well, good luck with that. Sci-fi's fun. I think mine's a mess, says Kid about his life. My its get all messed up all the time. This is literally a session report for a one-shot. Oh, okay. Where my players played the last adventure of the previous crew of their ship, the Blackjack. That's cool. Dad says, we'll see how long my game session goes on Sunday. My chapter 2 might end up waiting until Wednesday or later. Chapter 1 is now locked behind the curtain. Excellent. Apparently grocery shopping is being pushed back an hour. That sucks. Okay, and yeah, the session report, which is why we have the episode 17 link here. That's cool. Alright. We just played again with the crew of the Blackjack last night after a few month hiatus. Nice. Okay, let's read the song. If there's a tune, I want to know. Okay. The Silver Song of 6 Moons and 1. The captain laments the Baron's schemes. The Blackjack's captain, he summoned his crew, their destiny done, their last quest in view. Nicholas laments the hidden fiend's dark schemes. Friends, I have failed to foil my patron's schemes. Endless queries they've led me to find, my power, my wealth, his goals intertwined. My path must end to grant my daughter boons. We must find and free Crocea's 6 lost moons. For my heir, this will disrupt our master. Foil and delay the secret he's after. A final gift, my bedeviled daughter. Her weakness, the chance my lies have bought her. His friend receives a crystal red fire. Deliver this when the fire expires. My loyal crew, our final flight shall be steep, beyond what is real, below Reaver's deep. Replied in one voice, mage, knight, and ranger. Any place, any price, any danger. Blackjack surrendered to dark magic's pull. Beneath the waves, Bacchanal's mouthful. Through the event horizon of myth and reality. The Baron ordered his flyboys away. He wanted no death on his head that day. The crew obeyed. They boarded the Zenith. 3 stayed behind to fight the behemoth. Sir Snacks, your sword has served me well enough. My lord, I will not flee, now times are tough. Paul Egolas, your bow hunts elsewhere now. Captain, your fights are mine, I made a vow. I like this is cool. The captain saying, okay, you're free to go, because this is like, and them going, nah, fuck it, we're with you. Takrish, take your magic, find you a feast. Baron, I go with you to face the beast. Nicholas fell to his knees, bowed down his head. He needed his friends, but they would be dead. The 4 flew the ship into the cold waves, down below into Bacchanal's grave. Willing, they passed through the threshold of death. Their fate was sealed, they would take no more breath. I think there's one H in threshold, and you've spelled Nicholas with a C here, and you haven't anywhere else, so just for consistency of spelling. Their lives the price to reach the corpse divine. Even now they fought 'gainst worms most malign. With arrow and blade, fiery spells and rebuke, they crossed to a realm the gods had forsook. 6 moons in the belly of the Bacchanal. They followed the fire to the burning sage, his body still bloody, still filled with rage. Did Braza still breathe? The chest rose and fell. Takrish, your gong! The magus cast his spell. The answering roar, it came from within. The god's belly burst, the battle begins. Bacchanal slid out, swathed in God's blood. Coils came unending from out of the mud. It opened its mouth, 6 moons did shine bright. It sucked in its breath, began to eat light. The crew leaps forth, swinging blades, casting spells. Baron Nicholas hurls the serpent through hell. Same thing there with the Nicholas. A moon explodes from the black tarry wound, a portal to hell, a moon is marooned. The beast snapped back from the fiery attack. The dark elf's vorpal blade went snicker-snack. Nice, I like the Easter egg. 2 moons erupted from the monster's throat. The Knight of the Sea with power he smote. Dragon Mage chants, bringing down the thunder. The last 3 moons they claimed as their plunder. The Return of the Blackjack. Baron and crew had completed their quest. Still they were trapped in the Devourer's nest. Monster reforms, its shadows defeated. Serpent's revenge, it must now be cheated. The Baron's last trick, a ring with a wish. From the realm of the beast they did vanish. No one has heard from the captain and crew. The Blackjack's heir, the quest she continues. New Baron, new crew ride Destiny's arc. Soul forged in Nia, Azamar, and Spark. Wow, Kit. That is fucking cool. I really love this. Anybody got the submit for feature link handy? Because I definitely think this should be a featured article, guys. And I don't know if you didn't catch the link, which I don't think I posted again. Here it is. This is great. Really like that. Moving. The verse is moving. It's really cool. I'm like right there with your characters. It's so awesome. Thank you very much, Games Perfect. You know what? I'll put up Games Showcase here first, because... Okay, that was Kits. Where's Games? That way I don't lose it. Oh! Bob says, doing well here too, doing some game prep. Awesome. Yeah, we're finally gonna game tonight, because Steve finally had a day off. Oh my god, he hasn't had a day off yet, so... There's Games article. And thank you for the post, for the community voting. Yeah, no, that's really good stuff. Very moving. Passionate. Love it. Oh, is that what... It's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the thing where you recommend someone as a featured article. Is this here? Anyway. I think it's on the World Anvil Discord? Okay. Friendly. This is Games article. That's the sprint, by the way. Just trying to find it, my bad. Oh, thanks for the help. I like the image a lot. That is really cool. That is some, like, seriously awesome, yeah, Hero Forge work there. I like your choice of coloration. Neat. Okay. The Friendly are a mysterious race plaguing the Eridanus galaxy. Plaguing is spelt with the G and the U switched there. It's probably a dyslexic moment. I do that. Spread amongst, same thing there. Amongst, you've got a U instead of an N. Spread amongst the stars are groups of this semi-pacrastic mind-controlling race. I don't know what pacrastic means. I'm gonna look that up. What is pacrastic? Mind-controlling race who specialize in devouring their victim from the inside out. Ooh. Creepy shit. I like it. What does that mean? Ah, parasitic. Okay. Cool. Pacrastic. Thank you. Basic information. Oh, actually, I'll do the sidebar here because it seems it's short. Lifespan about 120 years. Average height. The height of a Friendly varies greatly on the host in which was chosen and infected with the... I think you meant Friendly spawn there. Let's see. Minor rewrite of the sentence. You don't need a comma after Friendly there. The height of a Friendly varies greatly depending on the chosen host, is how I would put that, and infected with the Friendly spawn. The Friendly are selective on who they decide to infect with their spawn. As the spawn is dependent on many physical aspects of the host body it infects, such as height. The Friendly are selective in who they decide to infect with their spawn. Yeah, I guess that works. I would put a comma. It's singular spawn there because spawn is already plural, right? And you've got the wrong there. Their. their spawn, comma, as the spawn is dependent on many physical aspects of the host body it infects, comma, such as height, is how I'd put that. All right. Basic information, genetics and reproduction. The Friendly are a semi-parasitic, I think you meant parasitic race. Period. Capital T. They start their life as a spawn produced by female Friendly. After being ejected by a female Friendly, they are placed in the friendship reproduction. Do you mean hibernation? Because it says hibernation. Hibernation tanks. Okay, yeah, cool. I would start this as a separate sentence here. I'd go, the Friendly are a semi-parasitic race, period. Capital T. They start their life as a spawn produced by female Friendly, period. Capital A. After being ejected by a female Friendly, they are placed in the friendship reproduction hibernation tanks. Yeah, and this is a new sentence. I see this as a draft, right? So capital F, no comma needed, right? From the friendship reproduction system, they are supplanted into a captured host, selected by the mature Friendly to grow and mature inside the host's body. You need an apostrophe between the T and the S because it's a possessive, until eventually the spawn evolve, mature, and devour, not devour, and devouring. It would either be until the spawn evolves, or evolve mature, right? Comma, devouring the host from the inside out, in which case you don't need the end, or until eventually the spawn evolve, mature, and devour, in which case you don't need the ing, the host from the inside out. And hello there, Bigfoot, how are you? Thank you very, very much for the raid. That's the Get Back to Work growl for those of you who are sprinting. It's good to see you. How was your stream? I hope you're doing well. That's like 3 raids. You guys are awesome. Lots of support today. Raid! Raid is awesome. Good to see you, Bigfoot. I was just asking how you were and how your stream went. It's good to see you and, you know, glad you're here. Awesome. And welcome to Bigfoot Spuddies too, of course. All right. We are reading Games GM's article on a species they've created for their world called the Friendly. I will share the link again so that people can keep up. We don't normally do showcases today, but we're in a good mood. We're being nice, and I'm a little distracted, so might as well. It's very draft. It's draft. It's fine. Drafts are drafts. It's cool. I realize you're getting this more for the ideas, right? And you wanted you said specifically you were interested in my opinion because, you know, sci-fi is something you're kind of dabbling in, right? And you want to, you know, see, you know, how you're doing. And so I am concentrating on that. I just figured I would help with grammar and stuff like that while I'm at it because I might as well. And hello, Lauria. It's good to see you. How are you? I haven't seen you in a few days, I don't think. Red Idea says, I'm having a bit of weird mental thing right now. I've had a few strokes of good luck, and now I'm like, when's the bad luck gonna hit? Oh, fuck, I know, right? I'm just like that, too. Right? If things are going too good, you're like, alright, when's the shoe gonna fall? Come on now. Yeah, which is bad. Don't do that to yourself. Bigfoot says, it was good. We ended up excitedly talking about if they ever made another season of that Sherlock show, what it should be. We came up with a very cool idea. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, and Lauria says, I've been dabbling on surviving Mars. Nice. Cool. That's great. Well, what's your idea, Bigfoot? I'm interested. You know, you can write it, because Sherlock Holmes is a public domain property. You're welcome to write anything you want about Sherlock Holmes. So, that is really cool. I had good news today. I've been approved for official Science Fiction Fantasy Writers of America membership, so I'm very excited about that. I got the email right before I started my stream, so that was really cool. I've applied like I finally got off my ass and applied yesterday. I've been kind of an associate member for a while, but now I'm officially a member on my own merits because I have written enough professionally published stuff that I got paid for that I've been accepted, so. Well, it's pretty time consuming and absorbing, says Loria. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, I imagine. Okay, I'll get back to the article. The friendly spawn, once placed in the host's, again meaning apostrophe, brain, lays dormant after the procedure for 3 months, gathering strength and recovering from the friendship reproduction system procedure and the state of hibernation they were held in. Right? Basically, modern day Victorian Detectives Justice League. That's fucking awesome. That's great. I would watch that. I did not think that the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen got enough respect. I thought that was really cool. Sherlock Gnomes is the best Sherlock to ever be written. Yeah, I like Sherlock Gnome too. That was cool. Alright. After 3 months, the friendly spawn becomes active. Yeah, just typo there. You switch the E and the C. And you don't need a space before your comma, rather. Moving towards the cerebellum and latching its tentacles around the brain stem. You've got brain steam. I think you have a typo there, but I get the idea. And I think tentacles is spelt with C-L-E-S at the end, but I'm not sure. You have to look that up because I forgot here at the moment. Okay, the spawn then devours the brain, slowly releasing chemicals. You need an E before the A in chemical and releasing. Okay, chemicals to transform the physical form and features of the host, taking over the body until the host, singular, is no more. Okay. Okay. So it's basically like Mind Flare Spawn, which is based on older science fiction-y stuff. So you're doing fine for the science fiction ideas so far, by the way, games, since that's what you were after for me. It sounds very like this is legit sci-fi. I've seen similar things in a couple of other books and whatnot, and that's totally fine. I really like this, by the way. The image is cool. And yeah, they're a bit creepy. And I wonder how you're going to deal with that in your setting. It's pretty cool. Eli says, I should be doing something, but I'm kind of at a wait point on Guardian, and I'm afraid to start anything else. I hear ya. Right Idea says, write my book for me, please, Eli? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Bigfoot says those comics are really good if you have read The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah, the comics are pretty good. I haven't read all of them, but I've read a few. Yeah. Reproduction stages. 1. The mature friendly selects a suitable host or hosts based on the needs of the friendly group. 2. The mature friendly will abduct the host to assess, using the friendship reproduction system, the likely success of infection and cannibalization. Cannibalization's misspelled, gotta look that up. But before beginning the procedure to ensure the host body will not reject the spawn. Makes sense? 3. Subject to successful selection, the host is then progressed, I would say, ED on the end of that, on to stage 2, where they are injected with a range of drugs and chemicals, plural, to limit the host's resistance. Again, apostrophe with your host's word there, apostrophe S. 4. The host then receives an incision from the automated friendship reproduction system behind the ear to enable access for the spawn. 5. The placement procedure begins, I think is what you meant there. Taking the spawn from the hibernation tanks. Hibernation is spelled wrong there. You've got hibernation again. It's actually H-I-B-E-R nation. 6. The spawn is then placed inside the host using the incision. 7. The incision is then I think you meant to put an N at the end of the THE there. Sealed using their advanced technology to leave no visible scars or defects. Visible, it's an I there, not an A. But, yeah. Growth rate and stages. The growth rate of the friendly is fluid in nature as it is dependent on the host they infect. Move that comma there to after nature. Additional information. Geographic origin and distribution. The friendly are a parasitic race, you don't need the comma there, which feed on other races, period. Thusly, or capital T, thusly, comma, wherever there is life in the universe, the friendly will not be far behind. Average intelligence. The friendly are highly intelligent. I would say possessing the ability to adapt to changing and evolving situations using their intelligence to outmaneuver others, and outmaneuver is one word. Yeah, but you need the word possessing there because you've got to, because otherwise this is just a dangling participle. Perception and sensory abilities. Oh, we have more pictures. Cool. Okay. 1, mind control abilities. 2, ability to convert species to friendly. 3, high levels of intelligence. 4, natural resistance to some diseases. 5, secretes memory impacting mucus. Due to their advanced cybernetics, the friendly have developed other capabilities. Period. Capital T. These include 1, advanced agility to be able to jump higher and run faster. 2, ability to see in the dark. 3, telescopic ability to see in detail up to 500 meters. Civilization and culture. Those are good pictures. Holy shit, those are great. They hardly look like they were made from Hero Forge. You've done some neat stuff, I think, with metallic textures. I really like it. History. The friendly have thought... I would start with this. Throughout their history, comma, and throughout, you're missing the OU after the GH and before the T. Throughout their history, comma, the friendly have evolved and augmented? AUGMENTED is how that would be spelled. And that's the wrong there, THEIR, have evolved and augmented their biological components with advanced technology to breed out imperfection in the race, such as replacing their poor eyesight with advanced cybernetics to enable them to see in full color, and night vision with telescopic abilities. Cool! Those guys are pretty creepy. I like them a lot. Yes, I think this is excellent sci-fi. I love how basically these are, mind flares that look a little different, but mind flares are stolen right out of Lovecraftian science fiction, so, and there have been others too. Stephen King wrote stories about parasitic entities that take you over, and of course there's the invasion of the body snatchers, and, long history of that sort of thing in science fiction, and I really like this. I think your approach is excellent. I like the look of the creatures. I like the fact that they've got this, procedure by which they, turn you into one of them, right? It's pretty neat stuff all around. I like the very technological look to their outfits and their, hands and their feet here. Invasion of the Body Snatchers was a warning against communism, I thought, to describe. Yeah, it was a metaphor for, lots of things that were written in that time period were metaphors for the invasion of communism, but it was basically a species that kind of, took your place, right? Is what I'm getting at. Thank you, they're kind of mind flare robots. Yeah, that's cool. No, I like it. It's really neat. These images are just killer, too. Oh, we have a gallery? Oh, good. Oh, that's great. this circle bit, is this automatically applied to character portrait images in this theme? Because it's really cool. I've seen similar before, but like, I didn't realize that was part of the theme. That's really neat. No, that's cool, games. You added it via Hero Forge. Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was a thing in Hero Forge. I've seen it before, so that's why I was kind of wondering. I guess I should shut down my Star Wars game stuff because I'm not playing that today. And that's a showcase that was done already, and I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'll go here. We still need that theme competition for World Anvil. Yeah, I agree with you. Alright, let's see what I missed. Right Idea says, a friend of mine read the 9 chapters I have so far yesterday and said she started reading at chapter 2 and couldn't stop till chapter 8. It made me feel good at my work, especially since I know it's nowhere near the level I want it to be, and she still liked it. There you go. Okay, I'll say it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. There's one thing that makes a good writer. That's it. There's nothing else. The only thing that matters is, can you tell a good story? Will people start reading and keep reading until the end of the book? That's how you know you're a good writer. Everything else is fucking window dressing. There's little tricks to the craft to make it easier. You know, grammar and punctuation can be done in the edit, right? None of that is as important as, can I tell a good story? If you've got people who cannot put the book down, you're telling a good story. You're doing it right. And that you can't teach. You can't teach that, right? I don't think there's anything. That's where you've got to have kind of a bit of an intuition about writing. I don't think that any class effectively has addressed that. There are little tricks that can help, but if you don't have that off the bat, you know, it's much more difficult, right? There's no formulaic way to churn out a good story. And that's the sprint. And that's the comparison of the art and craft of writing, right? Bigfoot says, so it was going to be Sherlock, Poirot, Marple Judge G, Jafar, and the girl without a dragon tattoo were some of the people we thought of, or the girl with the dragon tattoo. That's cool! Oh, and the villain would be Lupin. That is awesome! And Moriarty. Don't forget Moriarty. That is really cool. Mind Flayer Borg. Yeah, sorta, eh? You will be assimilated. Yep, Scribe says, we still need that theme competition for World Anvil, so we need to just harass Demi every stream until he greenlights it to shut us up. You can guide people there by going back and forth over and over in the proofreading process, but at the end of the day, it depends on their willingness to see how people react to the writing rather than sticking to what they think their writing is like. Good point. Red Idea says, it just gives me hope because I was getting a little bogged down. I hear ya, right? We all have days where we feel very, very frustrated. Sometimes months, sometimes years, where we're like, why the fuck am I even doing this, right? I'm no good at this, but you're always better at it than you think you are. You're your own worst critic, and, you know, and I'm glad you took my advice, right? The best way to get over that is expose your writing to other people that you trust and go, hey, what do you think? I'm just kind of off to start here. I appreciate your opinion. And, you know, 2 or 3 people telling you this is fucking awesome, I can't wait for the rest of it, is enough to keep me going. Yeah. Bigfoot says, well, the girl with the dragon tattoo is copyrighted, so it would be the girl without the dragon tattoo. Awesome. Also, if people are curious, Jafar is considered by many to star in the first detective fiction ever written. I did know that, actually. But you're right, maybe other people did not, so that is worth mentioning. You should have Judge Bao in there, too. Do you know Judge Bao? Judge Bao is cool. Judge Bao is like a Chinese... he's supposed to be like an enlightened being. And so he's a bit of a Chinese myth, but he was a fair and judicious judge in, I think, the Han Dynasty. He's supposed to have been in something. Well, I don't know Chinese history very well, but like ancient China, right? And he does. They made like Chinese TV shows about him, and he did this amazing detective work, and then he comes up with a very, he's like Solomon, and that he's supposed to be really fair, right? And it's I think he'd be awesome for that. Aw, that's sweet. Red Idea says, Sable, you're getting credited in the book when it gets published eventually. You and the whole writing community are the reason I started again. Yes, then you're in the right place. That's great. I always wanted to, but I needed writing friends and doing even know it. I don't know what was meant by that. I'm sorry. I'm sure it was a autocorrect mistake, but no, that's cool. Thank you. Not necessary. That's what we're here for, right? And I need writing friends too. So, you know, and that's why, yes. See, Scribe hit on it. Scribe says, that's why showcases are important for me. Yes, and that's why I do the showcases, right? Esong is a great resource, but she's one resource, yes, and she's married to me, yes, so it's very easy to go, well, of course you see this in the best light because, you love me, and I know it. So, of course this is awesome to you. I get it, yeah, I have the same problem, right? Whenever I get a showcase, I try to watch their face to understand how people are reacting to what I like. Yeah, and also he was supposed to be a real guy, says Bigfoot. Yes. Oh, didn't even. But I needed writing friends and didn't even know it. Yeah, this is a lonely profession sometimes. It's good to have other people to encourage you. If everybody here publishes their book and gets, decent sales on it, my life is complete. The quest is accomplished. So that's great. I'm glad to see you writing again. I mean, it's awesome. Kit says, agreed, that's why I seek them out for the stuff I've worked hard on. Yeah, exactly, right? Red Idea says, yeah, I get you, Scribe. I don't show my girlfriend mine until it's in its best form. She's yet to read any. Found the link. Awesome. There we go. Thank you, Kit. That's helpful. I want to shut down your showcase, though. We'll repost the link, please, because I need to. Can you repost your article link there, Kit? Because I shut it down like an idiot. There we go. Thank you. Perfect. There you go. That was great. You know what? I'm going to keep that link handy. Where am I going to put it? I need to keep that link handy because I'm going to need that link again and I know it. Erg. Oh, I know. World Notes. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's actually done, so there's no need for me to... The tab army is out today, I see. Yep. Where's my notebook? Notebook. Ah! Alright, I guess I'll just bookmark it because... Yeah. That's not what the one I wanted. I mean, we looked at that, it was cool. I wanted the form. There it is. Yeah, because I'm going to want that again. I've done this a couple times now, gone, where the fuck is that link? Alright. Scribe says, I tried sharing some of what I've written with my father. He just read it in silence, set the pages down, said, okay, and walked away. So now when he asks what I'm up to, I don't mention my writing. My mother doesn't understand anything I write, never has. And has been full of nothing but nasty criticisms. So, I don't show her my writing either. She just doesn't get it, right? Bigfoot says, I also just realized today that Hercule has the word clue in it. I'm sure that's why Christy picked the name. Cool. Yeah, some people just won't get it, and that's okay. My writing's not for everybody, and that's fine, right? Some people really enjoy it. My dad is very supportive. He buys every book I've ever written, has supported every Kickstarter I've ever done, and I'm sure he reads my stuff, you know, and he thinks I'm good. So, you know, but my mom doesn't get it at all. Just, if it's got something that can't exist in the real world in it, her brain just can't do it. So, Red Idea says, I can't wait to write stories my daughter will read and hopefully love. That's awesome. I plan on writing her some children's books soon, but I'm focusing on my current work in progress because otherwise I'll control, or yeah, between projects forever, and then I'll die and then I'll be finished. Yes, finish what you write. Yep, that's right, Kit. Sometimes you just have to meet people where they're at. That's it. Here's something for you, Right Idea, and for other people who are working on. If you want to be... If you would like to be a professional writer, here are the things. Heinlein has a right. You must write. You can't talk about writing. You gotta actually write it. You must finish what you write. You don't finish anything, you can't do anything with it. You must refrain from rewriting except to editorial order. Right? Because otherwise you'll be fucking with it forever and it'll never be done and you'll never put it out there. Trust your editor to tell you what needs to be rewritten. You know? You must put the work on the market. Can't sell it unless you put it out there on the market, right? You gotta put it out there, right? And you must keep the work on the market until it is sold. And that's the other thing. When it's rejected, send it back. Rejected, send it back, right? And eventually, you know, you'll get a yes instead of a no. Laria says, I think I'm weird on that respect. I'm fine with fantasy and sci fantasy as long as you're consistent on your world building. But if you tell me or insinuate this is our world with our rules, I have problems if you do something silly. Yeah, fair enough. Right? And I think that most people demand at least some consistency in their science fiction and fantasy nowadays. They don't really care what the rules are for your world, but they want them to work the same way every time. Right? And as long as you're doing that, you're kosher. Right? So, okay, guys, we're in the middle of the sprint. I'm going to take a quick break because we're an hour into the show to take a bio and grab something to drink, and then I will get back into the actual writing. And thanks for showing me your writing today, guys. I had fun with that. I'll see you in a minute. Hey guys, I'm back and I'm working in the background here for just a minute because I'm snacking. All right. Hello, AG. How are you today? Oh, the curse has struck again. Oh, lovely. Now what? The car turned out to be a lemon? Bright Idea says, I'm rereading my work in progress right now, all the way through, whilst I wait for this fire to burn down. I think I'll need to do a soft rewrite of Chapter 1 and Chapter 7. There's a couple of chapters that need writing still and some that need finishing as well. Wish me luck. Good luck. I mean, that's all part of the process, right? Oh, for fuck's sakes! Author Goddess says, just bought the new car, prepping for a large deposit at a new place. The old car blew a head gasket. Lovely. My god, AG. You need to make a witch bottle or 12. And hey, witchy folks out there, if you're into sending someone some good luck, Author Goddess has had some really shitty luck for a long time, and she really, really has. She's not just, you know, complaining about nothing. It's legit, and, you know, maybe we can turn the tide for her. Subs, no car to get to work, and it would be about $2,000 to fix it. Yep. Okay, AG, here's what I would like you to do. Do this for me, okay? Oh, and that's the get back to work route, so I guess I'll put the sprint timer on. Okay, do this for me, okay? And I know how you feel about this, but do it anyway, right? Okay. Put up a GoFundMe for $2,500 because, you know, in case of taxes or extra expenses or whatever, to fix the goddamn head gasket. Because really, okay, I know all AG needs is a break, right? Things were back on track for her. She was ready to go, you know, and See, I know how this feels because I've been there, right? This, I should have known better than to spend money even on stuff we need. Does GoFundMe actually work for people? Actually, that's a good question. Maybe we'd be better off doing a coffee, right? But do a GoFundMe or a coffee. Do it for $2,500 being your goal, because all you would need is to catch up with this, right? And you'd be all right, right? Like you were already all right. I've done GoFundMes before and no one donates to me. Well, you know what? This is a different era, and you have a different community here, and I'm going to make a point of promoting it, right? And we're going to do it. Because all you need is a fucking break. That's it. Like, I know that's all you need, right? A little help, right? A little help. One thing once to not go wrong when everything is on a precarious balance, right? I know that, right? So, you guys would support AG, right? I would, you know? And make a witch bottle. See, Eli says, hell yes, I would. Exactly, right? You know, we can do this. There you go, exactly. Red Idea says, I'll help any way I can. I know you'd all have my back if I need it, so favor is returned. Exactly. Right? Let's just get the damn car fixed, or replace the car, right? And then you'll be alright. I just want to pull the kids out of school and go live in a hotel with Hubs, and then he can use the car at night. That might also make sense. Put the kids back on the home school outreach program. Might work. Yeah, good question. Could you sell that car for parts and then use that money towards a new junker for a few months? Yeah, throwing out ideas and stuff. Maybe, from what I know, maybe not. I don't know. All she needs is one break, right? Just one fucking break. Yep, I hesitate to replace it. We just did a car loan, says Author Goddess. We're gonna have credit checks during apartment applications, so another big expense could crash my credit. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? They didn't used to be able to do that. I don't know when that happens. Like I said, last time I rented anything was 20 years ago, right? Applied for rent. Okay? And they weren't asking for fucking credit checks at the time. And now they're asking for credit checks to rent to you. How is that legal? And every time they ask for a credit check, right, when they do a credit check, it hurts your credit rating. What if it's like really high density, hard to find apartments in your area, and they go with someone else because they like the looks of their credit better, but your credit's fine, it's just, you know, that somebody else is better. Like, should not be okay, right, to do that. Author Goddess says lots of places are doing a guaranteed trade-in, so it's likely worth keeping it for that. Yeah. Well, shit, hon. I don't even know what to say. If we can help you, let us know how, and we will. I don't suppose you know any mechanic friends? Very long shot, but that's helped my dad out before knowing a mechanic and getting an aftermarket part, etc. Says Right Idea. Credit rating is up on my hate list with insurance and politicians. Yep. Yep, Right Idea says, and yeah, if you do set up a fundraiser, just let me know and I'll share it like wildfire. Exactly. Redeeming save check, thank you. I'll double check and make sure. There we go, saved it says. That has some appeal. Author Goddess says, I really just need to talk to Hubs. He dropped it on me just after I woke up and found out supper's meat didn't get defrosted like I asked, which, by the way, means I haven't eaten yet today. Oh, lovely. Yeah, that doesn't do anything good for your state of mind. Eli says, I woke up at just the right time. I was napping and woke up going, huh? What? AG needs help? Sign me up. Exactly. Exactly. We can do this. Be right back. Okay. See you in a minute, Right Idea. Ooh, that has potential. Internet borked on your end? That sucks. Eli was just saying, we'll back you up. You set up a fundraiser, we'll do it. We'll share it. We'll contribute to it. I'm sure we'll get through it somehow, says Author Goddess. I just don't know how much longer my mind is going to hold up with this. Yeah, I understand completely. I'm always tired, I don't remember being happy, and I'm in survival mode even when I don't have to be. Yeah, when it all hits you at once. Yeah, I get it. It's what was happening to me before we got the extension to have to move out, because everything was like... So I was anxious all the time. I was getting 4 hours of sleep a night, if that. It sucked. Yeah, hugs for AG. That's right. Author Goddess has been having a lot of bad luck for a really long time, like a few years now. It's not, you know, it's not a minor thing. It's been going on for a very long time. If we can do anything to break the streak, then, you know, I want to help, right? It really has just been one fucking thing after another, and she still somehow manages to come out surviving, right? She's done it, you know, she keeps going, she keeps making it through somehow, right? But shit, you know, it's just not fair, you know, it's not fair, it's not right, and, you know, the community can be of help, I think. Author Goddess says, minor crap really bugs me, like the ancient dog peeing in front of the stove nearly every day, and I keep forgetting and stepping in it. Aw, yeah. Yeah, well, you see, when you're stressed, there's less patience for minor crap, and especially when it's major crap that's stressing you, and there's nothing you can do about it, then it makes you focus more on the minor crap, because you can do something about that, right? I get it. I get it. Yeah, Eli knows about tough times too. Eli has also been through really difficult periods. You know? I mean, there's nothing else to be done but keep going, right? Or give up and die, right? But, you know. Sure doesn't fucking make it easy. When I will, yeah. And that's the sprint, by the way. Yeah, well, I mean, both are logical options. Fair. You know, I've been in that place, and for me, it was like, well, okay. You know, if you keep going, there's hope it'll get better. Eventually, the odds do have to even out. Red Idea says, honestly, nothing I can say will help, but I know that, but all I will say is that sometimes short amounts of times can make massive differences in your life. Yet, my life is now unrecognizable from a year ago. Sometimes it just needs a switch, right? But we could be that turning point, guys. We could help. Fantasine says, yeah, when bad luck starts piling on, it just keeps piling. I know that feeling. That mood is one I know well, AG. Been fighting it for years myself, so if there's anything, even just a sympathetic ear to rant to sometime, I am here for you. Yeah, I know all about it too. I do, right? Just, it feels like constantly pushing, you know, pushing and pushing and pushing. And for other people, when they push, it seems to make a difference. And for me, it means that maybe I don't get crushed. Maybe. You know, and I'm just busting my ass pushing the boulder. I get you. I get you. And there's nothing to say to that other than I get it. And yeah. Yep, this is it. Right? Author Goddess says, as I told Hubs, there are gods of justice, even vengeance, but who is the god of fairness in life? Yeah. Life ain't fair. Author Goddess is in the process of that. Red Idea says, my changing point was identifying the cycles my life moved, and I broke them as best I could. When those are financial pressures, sometimes that is a lot fucking harder. It's also incredibly worth it. She's in the process. She's done a few things to break some of the negative cycles going on, you know, and yeah, so she's on the path, right? Eli says, yeah, no, going through hell is, well, it's hell. And sometimes it gets better eventually. Could take 10 years or more, but it does get better eventually. Look, sometimes shit just happens, and it's bad shit, and nobody deserves it, and nothing you do is going to fix it, right? It's just a matter of, can you survive it, right? That's it. I mean, sometimes, you know, sometimes nothing you're doing is wrong, you know? Sometimes it's just shitty. Yeah, by my record, it's been 40 years, yeah. That's to get back to work well, by the way. Hello, Esong. Thank you very much for the sub. You're amazing too. Thank you very much. I hope you're well. Are you done school for the day? How did it go? Save check. Thank you. Everybody save. Today was actually a really good day, and at about 15 minutes ago, got another 15 minutes before I have to head out from the gym. Okay, that's cool. I appreciate you stopping in and saying hi, and thanks for renewing your sub. That's really appreciated. I wonder how many it'll tell me on the thing. You've been at this for a while now. 13 months. Well, thanks for all the support. Really appreciate it. Hey, other good news, I finally got Amazon to recognize my bank account, so now they can pay me the money they owe me. They owe me a fair bit of money. They haven't paid me in a while. So, yeah. So that's good. I know, right? Yay! Payday coming soon then, that's right. I like Payday. I got Payday yesterday too. I got a royalty check, my quarterly royalty check for my first book, The Witch's 8 Paths of Power. Can I get a fancy coffee now? Yeah! Yeah, I think it's about $600 that they owe me. It's not the hugest amount, but it's something, right? Yeah. Oh, that's over a couple years, like, yeah. And then I can finally pay off some of the authors from Gunsmoke and Dragonfire that I owe too, so, but yeah. Yeah, no worries there, James. We know you're just hanging. He says, sorry if I'm not talking much. I've been drawing public squares and gardens. Nice. I've been needing to get that book for a friend who's exploring paganism. Cool. It's available. You want a signed copy, I can send it to you, but you know, honestly, yeah, like it just makes it cost extra, but if you want, I can do that. Moonflower says I'm grumpy but awake, and good morning, and I'm sorry you're grumpy. Yeah, pamper yourself when you can, AG, that's good advice. Good advice and the right idea. Try and identify what brings me the most joy and seek more of that out, and surround myself with as much positivity as possible. Yeah, that's a good one too. Eli says, the thing I've always done is focus on what good I've got. I have family and friends who love and support me, even through the really bad shit. The smallest blessings create the greatest change. We're overdue for a chat, I think, too, AG. And I can't tonight because I'm gaming, but hit me up tomorrow night. And we'll chat. So, yeah. You know, sometimes it just helps to vent. I'm listening. Because I get it. I'll certainly consider it. I would, of course, pay for shipping. Yeah, I assumed. But that's cool. Either way, you know, whatever. But it's out there. I was just talking about, I get, like, it's not a huge royalty, right? I get, like, about somewhere between 150 and 200 US dollars every quarter, right? But they, when the book was published, they told me, a bunch of other pagan writers that I know told me that I would never get more than my $2,000 advance, and I was fine with that, right? But I did. I got more than that, and it's 7 years later, and it's still paying royalties, right? So that's, you know, it's, I thought it was a good book, right? I thought I had something important to say that I didn't think anybody else was saying, you know, and that's, why I haven't done another one is because I'm not sure I have another thing. I do. I eventually have a theology book that I think would be worth putting out there, but that's probably it, right? That's probably going to be my contribution to the pagan literature of the world, right? And because there's lots of books out there, people have said a lot of things, right? But I thought I had stuff to say that people weren't saying, so I did. Right, and you know, if there's a book you want to read and it has not been written yet, you must be the one to write it, as Toni Morrison said. So I wrote it, and you know, I guess it's holding its own. It's, you know, still relevant 7 years later, and that's cool. You know, I've been planning to pick up your book at the start of the month when I get money. Hey, you know, don't feel any obligation to buy my books, guys. You know, I get that people are broke. They'll be there, right? So, if you can, cool. And if you can't, that's okay. I understand. Author Goddess says, Hubs got mad at me last night because I was brain foggy when he called at midnight after I fell asleep. Then I have to get kids up at 6 a.m. and I have to make sure supper gets started and dishes get done before the in-laws get home at 3 p.m. And the dog barks all morning. Yay. Earplugs? Maybe? I don't know. I sleep with headphones, right? Earbuds, and I listen to like ASMR and, you know, rain on the roof and shit like that. Last night I fell asleep, and James, you're gonna like this. I fell asleep listening to John Cleese's lecture about the nature of creativity. I was almost finished, and I woke up this morning and I was listening to a lecture by Carl Sagan about, you know, space exploration. It was pretty neat. So, BC Brown says, I thought about writing pagan children's stories under a pen name, just haven't gotten there yet. Ah, okay. That's cool, BC Brown. Author Goddess says, earplugs and earbuds hurt my ears because of the way my ear canals are oriented. Gotcha. Okay, I've got a thing. I wonder if I still have the thing. There's a headband that I have. It's okay, I'm gonna look for it. But if I can't find it, you can find these things out there. It's a blindfold, right? It's a weighted blindfold, but it also has speakers in where your ears are, right? And you can listen to stuff through Bluetooth. It's awesome, but I don't like it because I pull things off my face at night. Yeah. BC Brown says, my partner plays thunderstorms at night. I don't really hear it since I turn my ears off for bed to conserve battery power. Yeah. Yeah, Author Goddess says, I have to hold the stethoscope askew just to hear through it. Fair enough. But yeah, this is like external speakers on your head, and you like sleep on it, and they're like flat, so they don't hurt. And they're like, yeah. So you can get these things if I can't find mine. I use a white noise video to sleep. That works too. I do that. Neat. Fantasine says, my nephew picked me up a nice pair of full over-the-ear headphones at Walmart. It has noise cancelling, was only $50, which is a lot of money. Trust me, I know, but they're awesome and don't hurt my ears unless I wear them a lot. Nice. After 8 hours, it switches to finished vocals, which wakes me up, says Author Goddess. Well, that works. Getting enough sleep is really important for maintaining the strength to get through shitty times. So, I'm just concerned with the amount of sleep. Alright, I'm going to work on my 100 top influences for the Toy Soldier Saga, which you won't be seeing on your screen, but I'm actually going to get back to work to it. Yeah. Author Goddess says, I live on a sleep deficit because there are people, things, and gravity in the world. Yep. I need my king pillow top and a new body pillow, but I'm stuck with a 30-year-old spare bed. And my noise-canceling headphones are in storage. Can you get them out of storage? That might help. Fantasine says, I gave up on getting to sleep easily. My mind keeps going on stuff I don't want to think about, so I got an Audible subscription and fall asleep to audiobooks on writing. Yeah, when you can't get your mind to get off shit, right? And, you know, thunderstorms or white noise won't do it. Sometimes listening to lectures can help. When Aaron was in the ICU, I would fall asleep listening to the audio commentary on Lord of the Rings on the extended edition, right? Because it would go for like 3.5 hours before it stopped, right? Then I'd wake up and put on the next one and go back to sleep, and that is how I managed, right? Yeah. 100 degrees out where Gwen is. That sucks. Yeah, and the more I do in the day, the better I sleep. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. Yeah, I'm chronic insomniac too, as all of you probably know from Game of Thrones. Ah. Bug issues. I hear ya. I'm typing, but I'm not seeing words growing on the screen. Yes, that's because I'm working in Word in the background here. Sorry, Daz. Fantasine says, okay, I'm going to finish this outline today, so I'm going to lurker mode. Good luck at next timer. Okay, since it's almost time now for break, why do I chat for work timers and work and breaks? I've been doing that too. Author Goddess says, it wasn't really going for more than absolute necessities available when packing. We had 2 days to move, 7 states to cross, and we are crashing in a spare room in a living room. Luxuries were few. I get it. Would you prefer the star field there, James, since this is not moving? Because, yeah, I could do that. I like this, but I'm flexible, says Esau. Ah, okay, I keep wondering why I don't see progress, and then I remember. Ah, it screwed you up. Okay, okay. We can do that. Right idea says, I'm just waiting for this fire to burn down so I can pour some water in, shower, then fuck off to bed. Because Right Idea is tired. My grumpiness is screwing up the tone in my writing. Ugh, I hate that. Music. Improve your mood with music. Sometimes that can help me. Let's see here. I've got to add the star field to this screen. But I will. Hopefully this doesn't, like, screw up the stream here. Or swap to a scene where grumpiness helps if you scene skip like I do, says Fantasy. Yep. Right Idea says, when I catch myself being negative and or grumpy, I just try and have a stern word with myself, remind myself that my mind is my own. Mostly, at least. But stay away from Leonard Cohen, says Gwen. Yep. My mood is improving as I wake up, and I'm kind of pissed at being sore. Yeah, I hear you. That's Moonflower said that. Daz says, they do say music soothes a savage beast, and grumpiness is certainly a savagely annoying mood, especially when it lingers. Thanks, I'm glad you guys think this is cool. This is my standard background. It's public domain available, downloaded off of YouTube. So, you know. Hello, Amazon Diva, and thanks for chiming in. They say, yeah, I use music a lot to help with my moods. Whatever mood I want to be in usually helps with writing. I agree. I saw that you followed yesterday, and I'm sorry for the 10-minute wait before you could talk, but welcome to the channel, and thanks for joining us. Writing is good. I'm glad you're here. Obviously, what do you write? I'm curious. All sorts of things. All sorts of things are good. I'm mostly a science fiction fantasy writer myself. Pretty much everything I do has something weird in it, so it's pretty much how I roll. Yeah, I saw you some other streams last night. 2 published historical fiction, nice, and non-fiction, integrating project management and creativity. Good for you. Excellent. Well then, I would say that you can also go to Amazon Diva if you have questions about self-publishing. Many in the works, including fantasy, sci-fi, mystery, and travel. Awesome. Even Sword, that's the back to work growl from the Dragon of Productivity. Moonflower says, even Swordland, favorite instrumental song is not helping, but I like the music that's here good enough. Okay, that's cool. I like this music because it's steady and generally cheerful, but not overly cheerful, and, yeah. I don't know. Awesome. The Right Idea says, the Right Idea here on Twitch. As you can see, got accepted for affiliate today. Hey, congrats! So I thought I'd shout out my channel for those who are interested. Well, let's do that then, shall we? Oh, good. I'm still pondering just self-publishing my stuff, says Fantasy. Yeah, whether you decide on, I've said it before, I'll say it again, whether you decide on self-publishing or traditional publishing, both are valid paths. People do them both for different reasons, right? And it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish, right? So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to get back to work here. You guys aren't going to be seeing it because it's on Word and it's stuff that's specifically for the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter backers, and I'm also going to make it available to $10 plus patrons, I think. The behind the scenes people. Daz says, technically I did a wee tiny bit of science fantasy with that background story, yep. And I'm currently doing fantasy high adventure. Is that even a thing anymore? I keep getting lost in which genre my writing actually fits into. Yeah, it sure is. Right Idea says, I'm planning to self-pub my first works to get my name out there and just for funsies. Hey, whatever works, right? When you're trying to build confidence, it can be helpful. What? Fantasine says, my goal is not having someone tell me I can't write more novels in my own setting. I hear some horror stories about that stuff. Well, okay, you're talking about traditional publishing and the buying of rights. Yeah, that can be a thing, right? One of the reasons why I chose to go with self-publishing for the Toy Soldier Saga and the Weird West is because I want to do a whole bunch of other shit with it, game settings and, a bunch of other products and stuff, and I didn't want to have to get permission from the publisher to do it, right? So. But, I mean, to avoid that, when you make a deal with a traditional publisher, read the contract. I didn't sell them my video and audio rights for The Witch's 8 Passive Power. And the reason why is because I was already creating my own video classes, right? And I didn't want them to start, you know, legislating that on me. So I didn't sell them that in the contract, and they agreed. So they'll ask for it, but you don't have to sell it. Fantasine says, yeah, I have plans for games and t-shirts and 3D movies in my novel series setting. Oh, I forgot to make the merch. Okay, I gotta make the merch. That's another thing I gotta do. We're gonna need a few Goodelves merch, right, guys? Yeah, Daz is all over the merch. Yeah. Yeah, I totally should be doing that. Okay, so something to do when I'm done the stream. Brainstorm, 15 minutes from Moonflower. I'm making a menu for a cafe restaurant in a Scandinavian-style country on a fjord thing, so I would like suggestions. Author Goddess, I hope you're still here, because this is the person you want to talk to. She has done lots of research into this, Moon. Right? You know, if Author Goddess is here, you have totally hit up the right place, because she knows stuff all about it. T-shirts. I'm in the market for good t-shirts. There will be t-shirts. I want t-shirts. Okay, Esong, have a good rest of your day. Thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure to see you. Also, Sable, I have a good deal of Norwegian in my family. I know good recipes. I just need to know what other people think sounds good. Well, I like the sound of Scandinavian food in general. I know it tends to involve a lot of fish, and I'm always a sucker for fish, right? So, this one damn log is deciding it's fire retardant or something. I want to get in bed, says Reddit here. So far, 2 items on the menu are herring, and 1 is generally made from fish. I have like 8 things on the list. Nice. Amazon Diva says I was thinking about fish too for the menu. Lutefisk or something. right, is what it's called. Right Idea says, don't they do that smelly fermented fish they give to tourists and say it's traditional or something in Iceland? That'd be a laugh on the menu. No, I understand it's pretty good if you're, you know. Oh, right, Moon, thanks for the reminder. Seriously, contact me with t-shirt stuff. Remember that my mom is in a t-shirt customization company. Right. Thank you for the reminder. I had forgotten that. Yeah, maybe I should, rather than going with something like, you know, Cafe Press or whatever. Lutefisk. I don't like it. Had it my whole life? Nope, don't like it, says Daz. Okay, James has a question. Do I think the small shapes that look like broken glass are too much, or they are a mixture of gardens, public square, and entertainment spaces? The green box is to do with the summer camp article, the thick black lines and roads. Okay, I'll have a look. No, I don't think this is too much. I think that, you know, based on the world you're describing, right, with the different, you know, concentric rings that are created in your cities, it makes perfect sense. Cool. Amazon Diva just Googled traditional Norwegian foods. Interesting stuff. By the way, what are your pronouns? Is it she or they or he or... I want to make sure I get it right. Stews, mutton, meatballs. Yeah, they eat a lot of mutton, actually. That's true. Okay, thanks, Sable. I was getting mind gob once again. It looks fine. It looks like a city. It looks like a very complex city in terms of its design, but it's a city. And it's clearly a city, and you're doing fine. It's going to be hearty, stick to the ribs dishes for the most part, I would think, says Gwen. Dad says tons of Scandinavian blooded folks, like in the UP. Heck, one college here is called Finlandia. Sour cream porridge is another one. Looking at a recipe thing, what about chopped steak with bacon and mushroom gravy served with boiled parsley potatoes? Sounds delicious. Yeah, Finlandia University. Got it. Ooh, I had my mother's friend hand me down Finnish and Swedish cookbooks, says Daz. Nice. Right Idea says, you're making me hungry. Getting some barbecued jackfruit and rice. I think I've got things covered enough, I guess, says Moonflower. Yeah, if you get the chance, I really advise you to hit up Author Goddess, because she has come up with, like, really, like, she's done some research in this. Didn't realize waffles were common in Norway. Cool, learn something new, says Amazon Diva. Recipes. Meatballs of celery, apples, and a touch of fresh nutmeg. Oh, that sounds good. I should try that. Nutmeg is a big thing in Nordic cooking, says Daz. There's a Finnish biscuit, which is cardamom bread. Oh my god, that sounds great. A lovely braided loaf. Wow, does that sound good. I love cardamom. I made a recipe for my orcs, which is basically chai spice in coffee instead of tea. And it's fucking good, I gotta say. And cardamom is one of the big spices, and it's really tasty. Cardamom ice cream is some of the best stuff I've ever tasted, says Bob. I've never had cardamom ice cream, but now I want to. And that's the sprint. That sounds good, says Amazon Diva. Love chocolate. Here, old gal, find you the recipe here in the break. James says Spice Road, the board game, has cardamom as one of the spices you trade. Neat. And Moonflower says lavender ice cream is amazing. That I've had. That's good. I can't argue with you there. Here, tell you what. Secret group stuff. It's fine. You guys get the idea. I don't need to put that up. But I'll find that article on the break here. Here you go. Groff, it's called. Chai coffee, basically. Work is a beast today, says BC Brown. Keep getting pulled into meetings. Blah. That sucks. Dad says making cardamom bread from scratch is the best way to find your calm. You must knead the dough and no need to be gentle. Sure, if you're punching the shit out of bread dough, it tends to make me feel better. Just pretend it's a bad guy's face and you're good, right? It really works, puts all that bad vibe energy to good use. You bet. Well, stress is the basic confusion created, or the confusion created when the mind overrides the body's basic urge to choke the living shit out of some asshole who desperately deserves it. I like making bread too. Unfortunately, it's more difficult when you are gluten-free, but I have gluten-free Robin Hood flour now, so I can do it. Because that stuff bakes just like regular flour, so that's always been, excuse me, the hard part with gluten-free baking, right? You can't knead it as well, though. It's inevitably more sticky. Spice Road, the board game, is also Canadian, says James. I swear Canadian-made entertainment stuff is awesome. Canadian-made entertainment stuff is awesome. You guys know how to have fun. We do know how to have fun, actually. I think it's because we live in this big country that gets snowy a good deal of the year. Right? So we have a culture of not taking ourselves too seriously, right? And a culture of, like, finding things to do in the winter. Nordic breads are the best, says Daz, and there are many kinds, from flatbreads to sweetbreads to biscuits. Yeah, they make a lot of different type of bread. It's true. Hey, Order 11, how are you today? Good to see you. Moonflower says, cries about Groff being completely out of the picture for me. How come? Can't have caffeine? Could have decaffeinated coffee. That much ginger would make me throw up almost immediately and continue to do so. Oh, you're allergic to ginger. My son is allergic to ginger too. I make a version without it for him, right? Remember that I say I don't know if you read the part, but it says that different clans make it in different ways, and I'm sure at least one of them does it without ginger. You don't have to put ginger in. All of the stuff is, is optional, right? So make a version without ginger, right? Dan really liked the version without ginger that I made him, so it's okay. You can have it. Just gotta modify, right? Dad says, and that's to get back to work growl, so I'll finish what's here in the chat. Yay, says Moon. Cool. Dad says, I think I can technically claim to be half Finnish. My mom was half Finn and my dad was half Finn. There you go. Fantasy says, the thing I miss most about no longer having a real home is I can no longer make my own bread. Someday I want a real kitchen again, just so I can make pies and breads. I hear ya. I wonder how J.K. Rowling came up with Quidditch. I'm trying to come up with my own sport, says Order 11, and it's going well. We came up with a game called Gnome Ball, and my suggestion is approach it like Kelvin Ball. Get somebody else to play off the idea, start with the basic premise, and work from there, right? What's the thing you want to introduce that'll make the game unique? It's going to be a sport for military personnel. Okay, is it, what genre are we talking about? Science fiction, fantasy, military fiction that's, more real-world stuff, because that'll have a bearing. Sci-fi. Okay, perfect. Being sci-fi, you can introduce a bunch of different elements depending. Like, for example, right, are they in space? Are there games that you play in weightlessness? Do you know there's actually a game that they invented called, Zero-G Baseball on the International Space Station? This is how people are, right? This is what we do. right? If there's alien technology, they might incorporate alien technology into the game. Like, suppose they have like technology that makes them less susceptible to damage. Can you imagine a game of football, American football, played in the suits that protect you from damage? I mean, things could get fucking real, right? So I would start with like, you know, what kind of games would they like to play in the military? What sort of factors exist in your universe that don't exist in the regular world? How would introducing that factor to an existing game change it? Right? Yeah. The police, military, and government are all wrapped into one. Okay, so it's all right. So I would say that's a pretty authoritarian society, probably, and I'm sure that the games are designed to build like team building, right? So bonding stuff, but also to teach strategy and tactics, right? So, and whether or not they're looking for speed or toughness might have a bearing. The various football and rugby variants are good for toughness in a lot of cases, right? And speed to some extent with things like, depending on the variation, right? Soccer or hockey might be good for things that are primarily speed, right? People do think the sport to get extra money for their families, says Order 11. Okay, in that case, you want something with body counts. Well, okay, not literally, but the most popular sports are often the most violent, right? So if you're doing high paid sports to, yeah, futuristic American football sounds like you're on the right track there. So think about what exists in your world that's science fiction that if you introduced it would change things. In an authoritarian society, even if there's no more technology than we already have, they're probably more willing to accept bigger injuries, right? So that would change the rules. Are you allowed to punch somebody in the face, right? Are you allowed to beat someone unconscious once you've tackled them, right? These things would definitely change the rules, you know? Yeah, side bets would be a factor. I'm sure there'd be an industry in that. Football is actually it's a very strategic game. There's a lot in it. Well, tactical. It's a very tactical game. It teaches tactics as well as, being tough, right? So it's a great game for rugby too, right? These are great games for military people. They were invented by military people, right? The original rugby was invented, you know. Yeah, and the game in newer version of Battlestar Galactica was more of a modern version of American football. Maybe watch clips to get ideas, suggests Amazon Diva. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what you do. You think about what would change the game that is unique to your world, right? And Daz has a point. Cultural aspects play a role. Look at China. One of their national identities is strength through and with beauty, which is why gymnastics is huge there, not just for the Olympics. Exactly. Hockey's a big cultural game in Canada. I suppose for the rest of you, I have to clarify ice hockey. There's only one hockey, and you play it on ice, right? Everything else is the variation. Field hockey is what the thing is called when you play it on grass, okay? Right? And it's a big cultural thing for us, right? We have a huge industry around it. Hockey stars are trained from the time they're kids. All right, Mooncloud's a Blackhawks fan. Hi, Mooncloud. Good to see you. I'm a Canucks fan. We didn't do that well this year. Anyway. Yeah, field hockey, street hockey. Exactly, right? But hockey is played on ice. Okay? And, former goaltender. Woot. I always played defense. So yeah, cool. Right? But yeah, it's right. Cultural things have a bearing, right? So, and it affects how we do overall, right? Canadians are always in the top three in the hockey. You know that we're going to pick up one of the medals, right? So, because as far as I know, we're the only ones that are like aggressively like where we have a hockey culture that's built into our national culture, right? So but lots of cultures are like that. So cultural factors too, right? If the culture is sort of authoritarian, right, then yeah, more violence is probably appreciated. you know how are the Oilers doing? I don't know, actually. I haven't been following them this year. I don't think they did that great, actually. Rowing for the British, is that a thing? I thought that it was soccer, football, that was the big European thing overall, and I thought Britain particularly, but I could be wrong. Um, Cricket. Yeah, we oddly do well in rowing. Well, you have an old seafaring culture there, right? So, I mean, looks like Oilers actually did all right, finished second in the division. Yeah, we tend to do well in a lot of different winter sports, but skiing, the Scandinavian countries do better than we do. Snowboarding, we tend to do really well in, mostly because a bunch of BC stoners do a lot of snowboarding. Is that true? Or is that a stereotype they're fantasying? And then there's Alaska with our dog sledding. Dog sledding's cool, right? That's an interesting sport. Canadians also participate in dog sledding quite a bit, as you might expect, right? My cousins raised sled dogs when I grew up in northern Minnesota. Nice. Fantasy says dogs are athletes here. The people just wander along behind them. I'm not into any sports, but dog sledding is the only one that comes to my mind with Alaska, and I live here. Fair enough. Dad says I got roped into all the practice runs. Nice. Yeah, I wasn't into sports at all. I kind of resented sports for ruining my life as a kid. I was always very klutzy and nerdy, right? And I wasn't very good at a lot of team sports, and I got made fun of a lot. And then, you know, they wouldn't let girls play any of the cool sports, the stuff that I would have been good at, like rugby and, hockey, and, we had to play stupid shit like, right? But anyway, right? And, yeah, and my parents understood sports better than they understood music and writing, so, my brother got more attention for the, sports he was into. So I was very anti-sports until it was presented to me that sports are all miniature military science exercises. And now I think about them strategically, and they're very interesting and tactically. Boys tried that crap with me until I tackled them on the playground. They didn't even have goddamn ringette. I'm like, I would like to play hockey too, so what did I get to do? Figure skating. Like, it was bad here. Huh. Same with me, Sable, says James. I was rubbish at the boyish sports. You know what I'm good at is stuff that I can do on my own. I'm excellent at yoga. I am really like, I do weight training really well. I actually like exercise that I have to do myself. Fantasine says I can name about 6 dog races in Alaska and the Yukon, but not one football or hockey or any else game of import around here. Or anything else game of import around here. We do have hockey teams, but the only one I know is the Anchorage Aces. I think. I know names of over a dozen mushers. Neat. Mooncloud says, I played because I was not given a choice. I am the one who would rather read a book, which led me to me getting yelled at to put the book down and be more like my brother, among other things. Blah. Just because you're good at something does not mean you enjoy it. Yeah, that's true. James says, apart from hurling, you're good at hurling? That's cool. Dad says, I got more scrapes, bruises, and torn clothes at school when in elementary school, but it earned me respect from them in sports and gym class. Huh. I hear you, Moon. Mooncloud says, of course, then I get some short stories published, and it's, oh, we're so proud. We always knew you were so good at writing. Yeah, since fucking when? Sorry, a little bit of bitterness over that crap yet. Yeah, I feel your pain. Yeah, Daz, they just honestly wouldn't play with me at all. I have to turn this off. Right? Like, I would show up and go, can I play? And they go, no, and leave. And that you weren't allowed to actually be officially part of anything around here. It was so segregated. It was just, ugh. I played soccer. I played basketball. Then they raised the nets on me in high school, and that was it. I'm 5 feet tall. And that's the sprint. I'm 5'5", so I got a bit more height on you there. Yeah. I'm stocky. I'm built kind of like a gnome. I would have been like, I'm pretty awesome at stuff like football, rough and tumble shit. I'm a pretty tough little cookie, right? So, martial arts, right? I got into martial arts when I was a little older, right? Out of high school already, and I love it. Right? And it's fun. My training is fairly eclectic, but I've been at it off and on for years. And, that's good stuff because I get to beat people up. It's great. Yeah. Various fighting arts. I did SCA heavy fighting. I wasn't bad at that at all either. So. Yay, 20 words during the sprint, which is more than I got fantasying because I was too busy responding to chat. Dad says, might have helped that my dad, being a manager at a boxing gym, taught all his kids to box, even if we didn't want to. He felt boxing was a survival skill as well as a sport. I believe that too. I believe it's important to know how to fight because you never know when you're going to need to. Right? Mooncloud says there's a lot of revision on the part of my family as regards to growing up. A lot of things they refuse to acknowledge or take responsibility for. One of the few reasons I do not allow them near my kids. I getcha. Diva says, haha, didn't get much writing done either during that sprint. That sucks. James did about 60 plus boxes for Zone 1. Wow, yeah, Mooncloud says, I learned the hard way. I was the living punching bag for the thing my sister married until I got big enough to break his arm. Good for you for breaking his arm. And the hardest lesson he taught us was how to take a hit. Think you should go? I'm sorry that we've brought up all kinds of negative shit for you, Moon. Take care. You're doing alright, though. Nobody minds. Yeah, exactly. Fantasine says, no, don't feel you need to leave. You don't. You're good. You're cool here. We've all had these days. You know, I get it. My family of origin's kind of fucked up, too, so... Yeah! Yeah, thanks, Diva. We don't mind, Moon. We're here for you. Good community. Exactly. You don't have an obligation to be cheerful and happy all the time. Sometimes life sucks. It's really okay. We just hope that if you are having, you know, good times, you will share those with us too. But it's okay to have struggles. It's fine. Really. We understand. Alright. Let's get back to work, growl, guys! And this will be the last sprint for this stream here. There you go. Right, Moonflower says, if I'm allowed to be grumpy, you're allowed to vent. Right, and Daz agrees, and Gwen says, we didn't have them, what were we right about? Exactly. Yep. Fantasine says, if you're having struggles, I much prefer that I'm around to be a sympathetic listener and let you get it out than to worry you might be suffering on something in silence. Exactly. Gwen says, trying to decide whether to have a glass of wine or a cup of coffee. I'll have a coffee while I decide. Diva says, I think I may go get some chai after Sable mentioned it earlier. Yeah, it sticks in your brain, I know. Chai is so good. So, yeah. It's those warming spices. James says, without knowing it, I drew 2 small rectangles. I thought while drawing that these 2 shapes could be memorials to the chocolate wars. Thanks, Brain. Nice, Fantasine. Fantasine says, I'd just like to say thank you to the writing community here. I have not been wanting to work on my outline for the past 3 days. I'm back on track now just from hanging out and talking to you all. Awesome. Dad says, I've sat here goofing off in chat and did nothing. Well, I've done some work on my... I'm making a list of inspirational material for a few Goodelves in the Toy Soldier saga. And it is slow going. To be honest, I'm not excited about it, so I am easily distracted. All right, let's see. You just ordered cookie dough. I'm excited. Nice, right idea. Gwen says that's the reason I hang out in the writing streams. It usually takes me all day and half the night to start, but the writing community on here keeps me on track. Yeah. Yeah, it might take a while to get started, but yeah. Daz says, have you considered the various RPG settings you played in that focused you more and more onto Spelljammers and then in your own setting? Yeah, I totally have, and I've mentioned them. Yeah, I believe in giving credit where credit is due. So, James says, if you want to see the two rectangles, they're in the red square. Right idea. Gave up. Put the fire out. That log was possessed by Poseidon or something. That's hilarious. I have mentioned the Forgotten Realms, Shadowrun, Spelljammer, I think Dragonlance. They've had some effect. Dragonlance less than Forgotten Realms, so I may not have mentioned it. It's okay, I've got like 90 something done. I'm just, writing about the reasons now. I'll end up thinking of the last few as I'm doing it. I usually do. I'm not struggling to come up with the ideas anymore. Red Idea says, I'm so excited to set up my Twitch affiliate stuff tomorrow evening. Nice! I feel like a professional. Yes! Red Idea says, I burnt like 8 other logs in the time it took not to finish burning. I'm throwing the remains of it in the bin and cursing its family tomorrow. Amazon Diva has their chai. Battletech? Yep, Battletech too. Yep, to some degree anyway. Did I mention Battletech? Hold on, I meant to. See, the thing about Battletech as a game... Oh yeah, I did mention Dragonlance. No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Ah, for fuck's sakes. Thanks, Daz. Yeah, that helps. I'm trying to grasp at straws. Well, it did have an effect, actually. Got me thinking about politics. And how a spacefaring empire might actually work. Fantasy finally got their PC working, sorta, on Linux because Windows hates them. Hoping to have the weird sound issues and rebuild theme stuff all fixed by Monday. Good luck. Fantasy says to the Right Idea, it was just dreaming of being a Yule log. That is hilarious. To the log that would not burn for the Right Idea. Save Chet, thank you very much, Right Idea. I'm just gonna go and say hi to the Visceral Vocabulary for a bit. He's a great streamer if any of you didn't know him. I don't, actually. So feel free to drop the link in the chat and maybe we'll check him out. Car Wars? I didn't play it. I knew other people who did, though. I've heard of it. Daz. Right Idea says, is there anything that indirectly inspired it, such as, like, inspiring a character or something? Valid. Lots. And that's the Sprint Gang, and it's just about 3 o'clock. Let's see who's on. Well, we can raid Michelle right now again. Final boss editing. He's supposed to be on in the ASC here. Is Eli on? Satoru and Michelle, okay. Eli's grocery shopping. Okay, fair enough. Well, we raided Satoru yesterday, so I think we'll raid Michelle today. Thank you very much for joining me today, everybody. I had fun, and I did actually get some done. I hope you guys got some stuff done, too. But either way, it was great hanging out with you. Fantasy got 113 words done today, but still got the muse by the tail, so we'll get a lot more done. Yeah, me too. I'm off to a roll now, I think. You guys were very helpful, so thank you for that. Alright, so... tomorrow, Erin is back at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UTC, 10 p.m. in the UK, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Time for Ask an Old GM. On Saturday, Erin will be back with Write with Erin and sometimes Diane. I might show up on Saturday, get some writing done. That will start at the same time, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC. 8 p.m. in the UK, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. And then I will be back on Sunday for Sable's World Forge. That starts the same time this one did, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC, 8 p.m. in the UK. Will Aaron be able to stream tomorrow? He should be able to. He should be able to. Right? So okay, so I'll be back on Sunday, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC, 8 p.m. in the UK, 5 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. Chris is going to be out of town for Sunday. He's helping his mom. Thanks, dear, for letting us know. He will be back tomorrow. Yeah, so we're not sure if we're going to have a game on Sunday or not. I will let you know on Sunday whether Toy Soldiers Old School is running. If another player cancels, I won't run. I will run it without one, but I won't run it without two. So, it may be canceled, it may run. I'll let you know on Sunday. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining me. This was great. We're gonna raid Michelle Write Meow. I think I'll play my book ad one more time before we go raid. And, yeah, so when you get over to Michelle's, make sure you yell, prepare to be boarded, because we are the Sable's privateers. And thank you, Amazon Diva, and I hope you come back. We do writing streams Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And yeah, I'll see you guys again. Well, yeah, maybe Saturday, and if not, I'll see you on Sunday.